Hey, Ron here, and today I'm going to talk about bigots. Bigots who defend the use of slurs and why they do it. The simple answer is it's about domination, but we'll get into that slowly. So, when I was young, much younger than I am now, maybe 16, like half of my life ago, my grandfather explained to me what these ethnic slurs are. He told me that there were people who didn't think that certain people were real, or that they weren't real people, and that they were something that looked like a person, acted like a person, spoke like a person, and behaved like a person, but weren't people. He told me that these people, the bigots, thought that those other people weren't people because of the color of their skin, or because of the god that they followed, or because of the patch of land that they were born on. And I was taught, my grandfather told me, that people who believed that were my enemy. I'm from a family of soldiers, something that I've brought up before, and that's, looking back at it, that's a soldier's sensibilities. My job is to keep people safe, or that was supposed to be my job. That shit fell through. But, that's always how I've looked at it. The more succinct way Grandpa put it was that, he'd killed a lot of people in his life. Lots of different kinds of people. Every one of them bled the same color. Again, it's a soldier's sensibilities. I miss my grandpa. Anyway. So, I think it's misunderstood a little bit what the purpose of racial supremacy is supposed to be. It isn't... These ideas don't exist for their own sake. You don't create supremacy in that respect. In any respect. You don't create a hierarchy for no reason. And if you have an unjust hierarchy, then that hierarchy can be understood to exist explicitly for the purpose of enriching the people who are at the top of the hierarchy. And, I don't know, maybe right now you're thinking, oh, Ron, you're supposed to be talking about racial slurs. I'm getting to that. Richard Spencer. Richard Spencer gave the game away. And his, leaked audio thing. He said, quite overtly, those people are supposed to be looking up at me. I'm supposed to be at the top of the pile. Well, he was talking about people like me, too. I'm about as white as you come. And that they weren't doing that was a humiliation to him. So, knowing that, understanding that, we can understand that the reason that bigoted people use ethnic slurs is a form of domination. It is a very small but very visceral reminder that they're at the top of the food chain. Or they're supposed to be at the top of the food chain. In most cases, they are. Like, if you go to the average person out here in Springfield and start yelling racial slurs at them, like, who's gonna do that? The purpose, then... That's my furnace. Well, not my furnace, my landlord's furnace. My furnace is much smaller. And the purpose of not using slurs, then, is to... And this is something I've been thinking about making a video about. It's to create a more inclusive environment for not just people of color, but any sort of marginalized group, something that I've seen, something that I've observed, is that most marginalized people, but especially black people, don't feel as though they fit into society, feel as though they've been explicitly rebuffed. And, I mean, that's part of what oppression is in the first place, is, you know, you're being told that you don't fit in here, so you have to take a back seat. But like, I feel like a bigger part of it is just creating a mindset that you don't belong somewhere. It splits the group, right? That's the goal at the end of the day. These white supremacists, people like Richard Spencer, people like Richard Spencer, people like Milo Yiannopoulos, they want black people and white people and Asian people and Jewish people to have different places to themselves, at least ostensibly. And we can infer that they want white people to have the best places, because supremacy. But we beat them. We beat those people by making people of color and all marginalized people feel more safe, feel more comfortable. I hope that doesn't sound too bad in the final mix. And ultimately, if you don't think that it's a big deal, if you don't think that the people who are uncomfortable, who feel oppressed when they're told that they're less than human beings, are being untruthful, or that their feelings don't matter, then, like, I can't believe it would strain credulity. It would strain my credulity for me to believe. It strains my credulity to believe that someone of that disposition, whether or not they're ostensibly on the left or not, believes in the integration of those people. Believes in preserving the well-being of those people, in preserving their safety and their comfort as much as possible. Which is what we ought to be trying to do, I think. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say on that topic. There are some links in the underbar, my Ko-Fi, my Curious Cat, my Twitter account. At the end of the day, like, I don't know what it's like to be oppressed, because nobody has the temerity to try and oppress me. So, ultimately, you have to take the word of the people who say that they're being oppressed, especially people who historically have been oppressed by the systems that govern our country, or that govern our society. So, I don't know, maybe don't take me at my word here. Go and find some other person on YouTube, preferably someone who's a member of one of these oppressed groups, and see what they have to say about it. Yeah. Next video is going to be about lies the cops tell you, which is a bit misleading. I'm not going to spoil it. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be a bit more upbeat than this, even though it's... the topic's going to be grim, but I'm going to try to keep the tone upbeat. As I already said before I cut myself off, there are links in the underbar. Ko-Fi, Curious Cat if you want to ask me questions. Twitter if you want to pester me there. Don't feel obligated to send me money. Don't feel obligated to give me money. I'm going to keep doing this whether or not I get money for it. It's important to me. But every little bit I get does help significantly. And yeah, until we get there, take care of yourselves. Alright?